Book 3, Chapter 13 of A Tale of Two Cities is called 52. 52 people are awaiting execution in the conciergerie, and Charles Darnay is one of them. After hearing Dr. Manette's document, he fully understands that there's no hope for him. He writes a letter to Lucy, explaining that he had no idea why her father was imprisoned and that it was a condition of their marriage that he not tell her his real name. He writes to the doctor to tell him he hadn't known about his connection with the Evermonds. He entrusts Lucy and his daughter to the doctor's care, and care of the entire family to Mr. Jarvis Lorry. Sleeping, he dreams he's back in Soho with his family. In the morning, he almost forgets it's his execution day. He hears the hours striking and knows he will never hear those hours struck again. He's supposed to be executed at 3 p.m. The tumbrils move slowly, so he thinks he will be leaving around 2 p.m. He paces back and forth in his cell, counting the hours. But then, he hears footsteps outside his door, and when it's unlocked, in walks Sidney Carton. Carton says he has a message from Lucy, that Darnay is to do everything he says without argument. He tells Darnay to switch clothes with him and shake out his hair like Carton's. Darnay says the switch won't work, and Carton will just die with him, but goes along. Carton insists he's not asking Darnay to escape. Then Carton dictates a farewell letter, and Darnay writes. Carton leans down and puts his hand near Darnay's head. Darnay gets woozy and passes out. Carton puts the paper in Darnay's breast pocket and orders John Barsad to take Sidney Carton out, saying he was already weak with emotion going in and became fainter inside. He reminds him to take him to the courtyard, place him in the carriage, and remind Lorry of his promise. Barsad has 2 men carry Darnay out. Carton is led out of his cell to be bound with the rest of the 52 prisoners to die that day. He sees a young seamstress who asks if she can hold his hand to give her courage, but she realizes he's actually a stranger. She whispers, "Are you dying for him?" He whispers back, "And his wife and child." Meanwhile, Lorry at the barrier refers to Darnay as an ill Sidney Carton. After some questions, they're waved on. Nervous but not pursued, it gets dark, and Darnay begins to regain consciousness. He thinks he's still with Carton, asking what's in his hand. They drive on safely through the night. In this chapter, it becomes clear what Sidney Carton's real plan is, and it is nothing less than to give his own life to save Charles Darnay's. He knows that Lucy has said she can't live for long without Darnay, and he wants her to have a long life filled with love. Carton uses his uncanny resemblance to Darnay to bring him back to life, reinforcing the resurrection theme.